Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a massive story that's pretty much captured the whole nation's attention. We're going to objectively map out the cold, hard facts surrounding the CBI's massive investigation into the Neet UG 2026 exam paper leak. Now, I know there's a ton of noise and speculation out there right now, but our goal today is to just cut right through all of that. We're going to break down exactly what law enforcement has actually uncovered so far, relying purely on the documented facts of the case.
So let's kick things off with a number that is just staggering. 49. That's the number of locations across the country that authorities have searched so far. I mean, when you hear a number like 49, you immediately realize we aren't talking about a couple of people in a basement, right? This is a sprawling, highly coordinated crackdown spanning multiple states and cities, which we're going to map out for you in just a second.
But first, here is exactly how we're going to unpack this whole shebang today. First, we'll look at the nationwide CBI crackdown. Second, the arrests in the network. Third, tracing the leaked papers. And finally, securing the digital evidence.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the nationwide CBI crackdown.
It's honestly amazing how fast this whole thing escalated. It all officially kicked off on May 12, 2026. That's when a formal case was registered right after a written complaint came in from the Department of Higher Education. And the CBI, they didn't waste any time. By mid-May, they had already formed specialized teams. Actually, scratch that, they were already mobilizing. Because by late May, those same teams were launching massive search operations, going from a simple written complaint to a full-blown operational launch in just a matter of weeks. That just shows you how seriously the authorities are treating this.
And look at where these teams actually went. We're talking Delhi, Jaipur, and Gurugram up north, and then all the way down through Nashik, Pune, Latur, and Ahayanagar. This totally proves we aren't dealing with an isolated local incident at some random testing center. This was a sophisticated multi-city network spreading like wildfire. The CBI literally had to cast a massive net just to disrupt it.
And because they cast such a wide net, that brings us to another really critical number, 13. That's how many individuals the CBI has apprehended so far. 13 people detained or arrested across this entire nationwide sweep. But numbers really only tell part of the story. To understand how this whole thing actually worked, we need to look at the specific players involved.
Which brings us right to Section 2, arrests in the network. So let's actually put some faces to this operation, because comparing the distinct roles here is absolutely crucial. Take Dr. Mana Sharure, a medical professional based down in Latur. According to the CBI, he was basically a facilitator. He allegedly got his hands on leaked chemistry questions and gave them to 3 very specific students. Now contrast him with Tejas Harshad Kumar Shah. Shah is a physics faculty member at a really prominent coaching institute in Pune, the APMA. He reportedly obtained leaked physics questions for this high-stakes exam. Do you see the pattern emerging here? We have highly educated professionals, a doctor, and a prominent academic faculty member, allegedly using their positions of trust to facilitate this massive leak. Okay, let's move on to Section 3, tracing the leaked papers.
So how did this highly sensitive material actually travel from point A to point B? Well, let's map out the specific chain of custody for the chemistry leak in Latur based on what the CBI has found. Step 1 starts with the accused source, a guy named P.V. Kulkarni. Investigators say Kulkarni passed the materials to Step 2, Dr. Manoj Shirur, our facilitator from the previous slide. Finally, Dr. Shirur allegedly passed those questions to Step 3, those 3 specific students. And get this, one of those 3 students is literally the son of a local coaching center owner. It just goes to show you how deeply intertwined these educational networks allegedly became with the whole illicit operation.
Now on the flip side, let's look at a completely separate pipeline for the leaked physics questions traced back to Pune. In this chain, Step 1 is Manisha Halvadar. The CBI says she's the ultimate source for this specific subject, and she's actually already in custody. Step 2, she reportedly passes the physics questions to Tejas Harshad Kumar Shah, the APMA faculty member. And Step 3, those questions end up directly in the hands of candidates about to take the medical entrance exam. So 2 completely different subjects, 2 completely different pipelines, both meticulously mapped out by the investigators.
So what's the big takeaway from all this tracing? Basically, the CBI has successfully tracked down the actual source for the leaked physics, chemistry, and biology questions. This is a massive milestone, guys. They didn't just catch the people at the very tail end of the leak, they have officially identified the exact origin points for all 3 major subjects on the exam. That is a total game changer for dismantling this operation.
And that leads us perfectly into our final section, securing the digital evidence.
Because as you know, knowing what happened is one thing, but proving it in a court of law, that's the real challenge. Remember those 49 rated locations we talked about earlier? Well, investigators hauled away a mountain of hardware from those spots. We are talking laptops, mobile phones, and a ton of incriminating documents. This is the raw data right here. Multiple special teams are currently ripping through this physical evidence, working in tandem to extract the data. Because in today's world, even if the physical trail goes cold, the digital footprint almost always remains.
And the CBI officials have been crystal clear about what they want to achieve with all this digital forensics. They explicitly stated their goal is to, quote, unearth the complete chain of conspiracy. They know full well this isn't just a handful of isolated bad actors. It's an interconnected network. And a proper investigation demands that every single link in that chain gets dragged into the light. That digital evidence, that's the key to doing exactly that.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. As this intense digital analysis wraps up, we really have to ask ourselves, what else is hiding on those seized laptops and phones? And more importantly, how is this complete chain of conspiracy going to reshape the future of exam security for everyone else? The CBI threw a massive net. They found the sources. But that digital footprint is probably going to reveal a whole lot more. Thanks so much for joining me to unpack this incredibly complex investigation. Keep learning, keep asking the tough questions, and I'll see you in the next one.